And then there was Rhett Reese. Rhett Reese, I think, is a famous guy now. He writes movies, does scripts for like Deadpool and other Ryan Reynolds stuff. Extremely intelligent. And he was a wrestler as a kid. And I remember his personal fitness, because in PE, he was a kid who did 98 push-ups in a row. I couldn't even do one push-up as a kid. And also, he was so smart. We had trailers on the playground. He was so smart, they taught him in a trailer. They took him out of all the other classes. And there was a group of kids that used to be, it was like a school within the school. Welcome back. I'm Michael Joy. This is Absolute Joy. I have a little flashback personal story. It's a curious lesson. I was at the dinner table with Lana the other night, and she was talking about being voted president of the improv club. She's vice president now, and next year she wants to be president. I remembered this story from the 8th grade. We were called into the big cafeteria for an assembly, and it was the kids who were going to give their speech on why they should be president of the school. And this one year, it brought the fear into the teachers, because the guy that was running, there were two of them. One was, and I don't know how I remember these names, Mark Landino. And at the time, hey Mark, if you see this, no, nothing offense, but when you were in 8th grade, you were known as the school stoner. He kind of had the baggy pants, the long hair. He was a bit of a hippie to me, and always, his eyes always looked glazed over. So who knows where he was coming from, but that's how I saw this guy. And then there was Rhett Reese. Rhett Reese, I think, is a famous guy now. He writes movies, does scripts for like Deadpool and other Ryan Reynolds stuff. Extremely intelligent. And he was a wrestler as a kid. And I remember his personal fitness, because in PE, he was a kid who did 98 push-ups in a row. I couldn't even do one push-up as a kid. And also, he was so smart. We had trailers on the playground. He was so smart, they taught him in a trailer. They took him out of all the other classes. And there was a group of kids that used to be, it was like a school within the school. Not just a trailer, but like a portable school. And I was like, oh my God. These two, if I'm getting my story correctly, if not, the contrast is accurate. Rhett Reese gets up, and he had kind of a nasally voice, very, geeky. And I think he got a lot of shit in school. He gives up and he says why he's going to be such a great class president and how much the school means to him. And all these things that you would think a kid would think to say under the guidance of his parents, how to give a presentation. And everybody's like, okay, thank you, thank you. We could not believe Mark was going to do it. We thought he's going to be lucky to make it on the stage. He gets up there on the stage and he adjusts everything. I'll make it up, but it was the gist of this. I, Mark Landino, can be your class president. I, Mark Landino, will be a great class president. I, Mark Landino, am the right president for this school. I, Mark Landino, love this school and will be a great president. On and on and on. He repeated his name like 40 times. I, Mark Landino. I, Mark Landino. I, Mark. It was genius. The teachers, the whole crowd started laughing, and he just went straight through it. He went straight through it. And even the teachers were like, oh, Jesus, get this kid off the stage, Well, who won the election? Mark Landino. Now, everybody, including the teachers, were upset that Mark won because, he couldn't lead anything. He didn't care. So I think there was some behind-the-scenes talk that Mark will be the president, but Rhett will run the show. So it's not unlike real politics. But then later, I heard that Mark's dad was actually a political consultant. And I thought, this is where it's at. Here's another example of why it was such a drastic thing for us to view and why I'm a little hard on Mark. So we used to have these science fair projects. I did, I made a volcano or something great, and all these other kids had these really, they put a lot of time into these projects. We used to walk down the cafeteria and there was rows after rows, 8th grade science projects. It was like the thesis. And Mark's project, there's a board and there's a telephone book on his table, and there's a picture. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? There's pictures of him holding a .45 pistol, shooting a telephone book. And his whole research was to show how far a bullet penetrated the telephone book. Oh my God. He didn't get a blue ribbon, but he had all the kids around it. I'm like, wow, he gets to shoot guns? I mean, it was that kind of crazy. So he was definitely an outlier. And it made me curious about other outliers that I would have loved to have tuned into later in life. When I went to this school in Scottsdale, Arizona, it was before Arizona was being developed. And I didn't know it at the time, but there was a bunch of rich kids that were there because all their dads and moms were all coming in to develop Arizona. You had all the construction people, you had all the political people, it was all based on the highway builders, and these people were like helicopter rich. And I never understood it in class where the teachers would get mad and say, I'm not your housekeeper. And I'm just like, right, nobody's my housekeeper. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then we had names like John Paul Rogge III, and and his dad collected cars, and there was these weird things, and we just thought they were strange kids. It never connected. There's a reason they're in Arizona because, what's up? And we had this one girl who, she was this small Iranian girl. She was smart and fast talking. talking, but she didn't really have a lot of friends. A bit of an outlier because at the day it was white on white on white in this school. And we had a talent show. We saw Netta get up on stage and we're like, this is after kids get up there and tell jokes, knock, knock, you know, things like this. And this girl got up there and she had this very skimpy outfit on. First off, people had never seen Netta as like a beautiful young woman. And she had that beautiful colored skin and she had the gold things. She was going to do some sort of Middle Eastern dance. And this girl could dance like a freaking professional. Even the teachers were like, get her off the stage, too sexual. What's happening? Where am I? It was so out of sorts. I'm like, wow, I saw this stuff. And why do I remember it? I was not the special guy on stage. I did nothing special in 8th grade other than I was really good at ping pong. I think what happened is I was somebody who was observing everybody else because I couldn't interact. And I remember these names. I remember these people. I remember I was self-conscious because I was fat in school. And I just kind of just remember watching everything go by me in a safe way. The girl I had a crush on, Amy Roth, I don't know, she probably turned out to be one of the most beautiful women in the world. And I couldn't even say hello. Melissa Axe. I remember all of these names just because I was invisibly mesmerized. I only wonder what would have happened had I had the courage to actually meet or talk to these people that I was so entranced with. You know, that I was connected to them for some reason. I was attracted to them for some reason. At that age, you choose your crushes. Grade school is like, for me, was an advanced form of sleepwalking. Yet it stays with me today in this weird little pocket of bubble of things. Maybe you guys have some funny grade school stories to share. Netta, are you out there? Mark Landino, Rhett Reese, I enjoy your work. Thanks for being such a smart guy. We knew about it when 8th grade, even though you don't know who I am. I saw you and I admired you. So congratulations on your successes, Netta and Mark as well. Take care. Have a great day.